Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament 2018. We are here with one last matchup for you tonight. Obviously, a little bit of a late one, but we're pretty excited about this. We're going to be seeing Xeirla versus Chicken Supreme. My name is Vol'jin, and I'm here tonight alongside Sonic Buster. Sonic, how are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty excited. This is going to be an interesting match.
That's for sure. And we've got two runners that are, kind of polar opposites in terms of amount of experience, maybe, their PB level, but they're both pretty interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. We've got Chicken Supreme, very experienced runner of this game. He's been around for quite a long time. On the other side, we have Xeirla, who, of course, has already done a run. And Xeirla's got a unique characteristic. Isn't that right, Sonic?
Yeah, very quite fascinating. I don't know if I could do it. Xeirla runs using like an art tablet for movements. I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah, it's really something. I can barely imagine using the mouse, let alone like a Wacom tablet. But that is what Xeirla apparently uses, which is just absolutely very, very interesting. We're gonna, obviously, as you see on the stats there, the Wacom tablet pen world record holder Xeirla. We're gonna be seeing how that's gonna work out for him in this run. And then Chicken on the other side, keyboard and mouse runner, very experienced, and of course, as you see, bought pizza for the Ori crew at AGDQ 2018. What a cool guy. Sonic, what are you interested to see here tonight as we're about to get these runners kicked off?
I'd say, honestly, it seems kind of similar to the match that I ran yesterday, with Chicken being super experienced and Xeirla. Am I saying it right? Please forgive me if I don't say it right. Xeirla, being a little bit newer to the game. I kind of want to see them both improve in their own right. What do you think?
Definitely will be interested to see Chicken's resurgence. It's been a while since he took, I think, an 8-month break from the game. So it's been quite some time since he actually really ran the game seriously. So we're going to see how he's able to do here. He's kind of been de-rusting the game. He's improved his PB by about 30 seconds. And for Xeirla, of course, we'll see how the pen meta works out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we are underway. A little bit of a hiccup on Xeirla's side. Hopefully the stream will work out over there. Chicken, meanwhile, is going to get going, and we're going to be making our way down to the Spirit Flame, the first skill here. Sonic, what are we going to see from our runners in this early game?
Well, there aren't a lot of options when you're starting off. This is one of those games where you have to collect skills as you go along, and you're able to improve your movement along the way. So you'll see a lot of simple movement in the early game as we head to sign.
Yeah, a lot of jumping. Of course, all of our runners tend to like to make use of jumping and just not have to run along the ground. And yeah, that's about it for now. Right? So Metroidvania, we'll gain skills, we'll increase our arsenal over time. But for now, we're just going to run, jump, and now on Chicken's side, we're going to shoot. We're going to make quick work of these Frankie enemies. Frankie's, of course, community named thing for these creatures that are kind of like a cross between a frog and a monkey. And now we're going to be making our way out towards wall jump. And we're going to be doing two things. We're going to be managing our experience points, and we're going to be managing our health on the way there. And what are those for, Sonic?
The experience points, the experience route?
Yeah, both that and the health as well.
Health as well. Different people take different strategies as far as with experience and health. Well, may see, I don't know if Chicken takes, I didn't check, shame on me. Either 3 health or 4 health here in the beginning. But every little choice kind of shows the personality of the runner. Let's see.
Yeah, so right here we just we had the ghost or glitch coming from Chicken, and one of those things related to yourself. Looks like we're going to go ahead and sync up the runners. So Chicken stream will be paused for just a little bit, and on Xeirla's side we'll be doing that same glitch. Just you take a quick intentional death in the water after dropping these keys in, and you'll despawn that door real quick. So it saves a little bit of time. And Chicken, as you hinted, it will be picking up that one initial health cell and possibly others later on. I like what you said about it kind of showing the runner's personality. That's a really good point. How do you approach that as far as your overall level of safety in the run?
I try to balance it with how much time it takes to grab the individual cells as as far as my need for safety throughout the run. I tend to be a little bit more of a safe player, while some of my peers tend to be more bold in their style.
Yeah, that's for
Um,
sure.
on average, I see most runners take either 5 or 6 health. That's to either do safely or not so safely a maneuver that we'll talk about as we get closer to the end of the game.
Yeah, that's right. The minimum being 5, of course, in order to finish this run, and we'll see that in a little bit. Chicken picking up wall jump here. He's opted for the 4th health. Xeirla coming into wall jump as well, also opted for the 4th health, and getting a level up on the way in as well. And we'll see Chicken pick up this energy cell. Energy, great resource that we are going to make use of a lot, of course, for charge dashes, saves, of course, and other things. But a little bit of an early advantage for Chicken. That is what you would expect with the great difference in their PBs. So we're not really, being totally honest, right? We're not expecting that Xeirla is going to get an upset over Chicken when Xeirla's PB is literally twice as long as Chicken's. Instead, what we're hoping to see here is, Chicken will have a run where basically he'll try to put on his best show and set up his best time that he can get, and Xeirla is going to do the same. This is actually kind of a low pressure situation for both of them.
It's not so bad being in a situation like that because you can really focus on your personal improvements a little bit more so than even the race itself. It's kind of nice to be able to challenge yourself. While there's a lot of energy definitely in the close races, there's definitely a lot of excitement in watching somebody improve their own time. It's nice.
Yeah, and we'll have hopefully a lot of opportunities to be able to focus on both sides of the screen here and see the good stuff that both runners are going to do. On Chicken's side, we have the first instance of the Save Anywhere glitch where you use a little trick to open up the ability menu while moving, enter that cutscene trigger, and then learn an ability that saves the game. We skip a cutscene. Easy peasy. Chicken's moving into Blackroot Burrows. Sonic, tell us a little bit about Blackroot Burrows.
Blackroot Burrows. It's probably one of the more difficult places to stay alive in the game, in my opinion. Because at this point you're at pretty low health, and one step into those spikes is well, depending on how many health you took at the beginning, generally either instant death or pretty close to it. And that'll send you all the way back up top to watch the cutscene or to where you did the cutscene skip there. So it's pretty dangerous place to be.
Yeah, not very fun. You see this part that Chicken's crossing right now. One of the scariest parts, you have to carry this orb, which slows your movement down while dodging these projectiles, which each deal 2 damage. The spikes all deal 1. These lasers here are instant kill, so Chicken's got to jump up these platforms without touching them, and she does. And he's going to make this platform cycle here. Looks like the platforms, you see Chicken circling one of them with his mouse. Unfortunately, missed one of the cycles, but not a huge deal. It's an 8-second time loss. You hate to take that, but at the same time, obviously, there are much worse ones to take.
For sure. So here in a second, we're going to see Chicken Grab Dash, which is really the big game changer in Ori DE in comparison to vanilla. It's opened up a lot of new abilities that I'm personally just getting used to. It's really exciting to see the different maneuvers that you can do after grabbing that ability.
Oh no, Xeirla taking a death in BRB unfortunately early on. And it does, as mentioned, send them back to the that cutscene skip. So that's a really unfortunate time loss. But Stay strong, Xeirla. You got this. And yeah, to complete your thought on Dash, I really do like that you mentioned it's such a big difference compared to vanilla. It's such a big difference, in fact, that the speedrun, there's 2 new skills, an entire new area here in BRB, but the all-skill speedrun is faster in this game than it was in vanilla. That's something that I know Grimelios likes to really point out, because it's such a cool little tidbit of how much speed Dash actually gives you.
Yeah. It's kind of intimidating as we get towards the end of the game. It just seems like our racers are just flying across the screen at the speed of sound. It's hard to track it. So it has given us so much more speed and options, different kinds of jumps and manipulations. It's really coming into it as a newer runner can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, and I think that's part of both the allure and the kind of intimidation factor of this speedrun. As Chicken is starting his Frankie Walk trick, Xeirla navigating those lasers very well. Chicken's gonna be taking this Frankie for a little bit of a walk across the countryside. He's gonna put some energy into a door, get a level up, put some more energy in. He'll be able to make his way on a huge sequence break into Moon Grotto. But it's definitely one of those things. A lot of runners say they watch a speedrun of this game, and the fancy looking movement, the fast flying action of Dash makes it look really, really awesome, but also makes it look really intimidating. And Chicken just wrapping up the Frankie Walk. That's a little bit close to the edge, but he does get the skip, so he's able to make it into this Death Gauntlet. And unfortunately, he's not out of the woods yet.
Now, this next part is pretty scary as he comes up to, there's a Frankie at the top of here, at the top of this cliff, and if you don't get that just right, he'll jump right on you, and you got to start that whole walk over again. Have nice, long, comfortable conversations with the Frankie.
Fortunately, he's made it through that entire section. He got past some crushers as well, some brambles on the walls. He's dropped into Moon Grotto. Xeirla wrapping up this Dark Room in BRB as Chicken is going to try this early cycle in Moon Grotto. No, he's not actually going to go for it.
What do you have to do in order to get that cycle there?
So it's a precise sequence of basically several dashes chained in a row and then a couple jumps up the wall with just enough timing and the right positioning so that you land right on that ledge near those crushers. And as they're about to close, you dash and jump into them. And if you get all that timing and all the positioning correct, then you'll be able to get it pretty easily. But it's really tough, and it's really tough to learn, that is. There are some runners who are very consistent at it, but it's pretty difficult. So Chicken is just opting not to make that a thing for himself.
All right, and he's in there to pick up double jump. He's going to do a little bit of blind movement here. He'll be moving off screen to the left where we can't see him, but I promise, I hope he'll make it safely.
Well, that looked very good, actually. He made it pretty far up the wall, even.
There he goes.
No. Oh no, Xeirla taking a fall all the way to the bottom of BRB, and then found the quickest way they could think of to take an intentional death, which was to jump face first into a laser. Oh no, another one. Please, no. Chicken, meanwhile...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Working on Grotto Skip. In the time it takes us to figure out which one of us gets to talk, he might just get the trick. There it is.
Oh no! All right, so Grotto Skip, you're actually skipping the entire left side of this puzzle here. It doesn't look like much, but it saves a whole lot of time.
Yeah, there's all sorts of crap over there with Gumo carrying the water vein away from you. The water vein, we'll see very shortly, is the key to the first dungeon. Xeirla on the right side, getting set up for Frankie Walk, but taking a little extra damage. This is a little bit of a scary section. There's a required damage boost here, and I'm not sure if Xeirla took too much damage to be able to survive this. Oh, there's the UI check. It is okay. You have to take 1 damage, and hopefully he will be okay.
Just 1.
He does make it over.
All right, we're gonna see that sequence skip again over here when he gets the right, taking the energy from the Frankie. You can do it, Xeirla.
Just needs the one more jump. Got it. The XP magnet's in, and he gets the skip. And we're into the Death Gauntlet now, which, of course, is still very aptly named. Oh, God, no! Oh. Well, that is a shame. The very similar death to what we see from a lot of other runners, where, unfortunately, if you just get the wrong timing climbing that wall, the Frankie gets aggroed a little bit too quick, so... Xeirla took the smart safety save there on that spirit well. He'll just do another try at the trick. This is a very difficult trick. It would not be surprising if his PB, which was in a race the other day, actually, I don't remember, but it might have had a death to Frankie walk as well.
Chicken on his way to teleporter over here. All he has to do is activate the teleporter on the right, just to make sure that we can come back there later. And like that, it's already over.
Yeah,
going up to Ginso.
And tell us a little bit about Ginso, Sonic.
Ginso is, well, actually really the only vertical dungeon in the game. He's going to be approaching an ability called Bash, which is really one of the most unique movements in Ori. Really changes the way that you play, almost as much as Dash. Actually, using those two together frequently.
Ooh, another death for Xeirla in the water. It's rough. That swim is not easy, and I couldn't quite make out exactly what happened. It looked like he might have gotten caught under the overhang there. It's a little bit unclear. Hopefully this attempt will go better. Chicken, as mentioned, one of those very vertical rooms in Ginso. It's an incredibly tall dungeon. I mean, it's a tree, right? So
it makes sense.
But he is making his way up. Made quick work of those first two rooms, so good job there. Dodging a spider shot, making sure it doesn't kill him by teleporting through these portals right behind him. Here's Xeirla's next attempt at Frankie Walk, as Chicken's about to come into this redirect puzzle. So we'll see. Chicken should have no problem over on this puzzle, so make sure to focus on the right side here. Xeirla needs your energy. Literally, Xeirla could really use an energy drop here. That'd be really nice. Oh, God!
No!
Wow, that is one way to get through. Well, my heart just stopped. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was like, oh no! Oh, okay, we're okay. We're okay. All right.
No! Oh God. Okay.
We got a save there though. We did take a safety save, so we won't have to go back quite as far this time.
Oh goodness! So Chicken, in the meantime, did manage to get to the first mini boss in Ginso. He actually now uses, this is a recent change. He now uses the scroll wheel to do shooting, which is a nice little advantage that KBM players have access to, where they can do very high speed shooting. So it allows you to get the optimal number of shots per time. So he's able to do that, and was able to make pretty quick work of that mini boss. And he is coming in, as you mentioned, to bash.
So we got the ghost door. It'll be just a second longer. There we are. So Bash allows you to jump from one object to another, and as the game goes on, it also gives you the ability to target enemies, which a lot of people who are playing the game casually don't even realize you can do throughout the game. So it's very interesting mechanic for a game to have.
Yeah, it changes that from, you want to get away from enemies to you want to get towards enemies. Oh, that was a really good catch from that of that bash on the projectile from Chicken. He had set it at just a little bit too high. He was able to use a bash to recover and put it back to actually hit the door. So saving a little bit of time there that he might have otherwise lost. Xeirla has safely made it into the Moon Grotto section, but we're going to see here from Chicken on the left a glitch called Keystone Duplication. So he's going to take this death while near that door, and you saw him put a bunch of his keystones, 3 to be specific, into that door. And because of where his save is, it actually returned those keys to his inventory. So now he's got 3, but there's still 4 sitting in the game world, so he's going to be able to collect 7 in total, and he's going to be able to make use of those a little bit later on.
Right? Xeirla making his way to double jump.
Oh. was making his way.
No!
Oof. So some rough deaths for Xeirla. There's a lot of really scary sections, and Xeirla's been on very low health here, which is really showing you that you know, how terrifying this game can be for newer runners, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Chicken Supreme headed to Swamp Entry, which is there's normally an escape above this area. You run out of the water, you run out of the tree, and the water is clean, and you can go swimming, and it's fantastic. However, we don't do any of that. We leave the tree and go ahead to Thornfelt Swamp and don't clean up the water, which means the water is incredibly poisonous for the rest of the race. So don't touch the water.
1 damage per second if Chicken decides to take a dip in that water. So definitely not something he's going to want to do. He does a little bit of blind movement there. Got into a little nook right next to some spikes that are not very friendly, contrary to what you might think. And now we're going to, as mentioned, make use of this frog here. We are going to position him in this little narrow corridor here. There's a floor that you're supposed to stomp and a ceiling that you're supposed to charge jump. And he's going to make use of Bash to use this frog to break both of them. So we don't need either of those abilities, which is nice because we don't have them yet. And that is a very clean first try swamp entry for Chicken, so nice job by him, both the blind movement and the swamp entry. And we have Xeirla getting 2 double jump, so able to overcome the shenanigans back there from those spikes. And now we'll get a full health refill, so that should be pretty nice for him.
I know for me, getting double jump opens up the rest of the game so much better. Like, for some runners, they're better in the early game and some better in the late. It's always nice to have that double jump. It's just that little extra bit of safety, little bit of extra movement. It's very comforting. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It gives you a lot of ability to correct yourself mid-air, which is obviously very difficult to do when you don't have a recovery jump. So at the beginning of the game, it can be very difficult. Just you jump in the wrong place, you're dead. That's it. You're not really going to get much recourse. We're gonna see that grotto skip from Xeirla, making use of the acquired double jump to do this precise jump up this wall. You saw Chicken do this as well. It took him a little bit. Oh, Xeirla almost had that. Meanwhile, you're hearing some heavy metal from Chicken as Xeirla almost gets it. Chicken putting that frog on that log, which causes it to make some drumming noises because, I don't know, Ori. There it is. Xeirla getting the grotto skip. Very nice job. Chicken coming up to another skip as well, the Kuro cutscene skip. This is just a very precise bash that looks like nothing happened, but he actually skipped a cutscene trigger there. That saves him 17 seconds.
Yeah, not having anything happen for once is a good thing.
We don't have to hear a big angry bird grop at us, which is always a plus.
Supreme picking up a optional energy cell there. Very helpful for use later when you get into misty woods.
Yep, energy being the primary resource for charge dashes, and that's basically what that energy cell is for. It used to be considered a safety method back at the beginning of last year, but nowadays it is strictly for speed, and it is actually faster to take it. Xeirla, meanwhile, making their way out of the Moon Grotto with the Water Vein in tow. They'll be able to head to the Ginso Tree, and is ahead of his PB as of... Oh, Chicken's ahead of his PB. Oh my goodness. That's
I would absolutely love to see both of them PB tonight. That would be definitely a highlight.
Well, judging by Xeirla's performance last race, the fact that he was able to just be constantly ahead of his own time, I would not at all be surprised if he were able to do it again. Chicken, on the other hand, you know, it's a little bit harder to PB when you're up in that 35 range.
Oh, Xeirla takes another death. Thankfully, doesn't have to go back too far this time. Had a nice safety save there, so not too much of a time loss. Are we still? Yep. Do we know if we're still on pace?
For Xeirla, I haven't gotten an update yet, and I'm sure that we may be able to do that in the near future. Whereas for Chicken, we did hear at Charge Flame, he was 11 seconds ahead. We did get that update on Xeirla, and he's a minute behind his PB right now, which is obviously unfortunate. Probably a result of a few more deaths than otherwise would have had, but that's all right because he definitely has plenty of time to save later on. Chicken, coming up to Fast Stompless, a really precise spider shot that he just fired off in that direction towards a bunch of rocks that you don't even get to see. If it works out, the shot's going to hit the rocks. Oh, wow, okay. So, that is called Sad Cellless. And his shot hit the rocks, and he unfortunately did not get to an ability cell that he's trying to collect. That ability cell, the fact that he gets it while waiting for the shot to hit the rocks is actually why this trick saves so much time. It allows you to get this trick, get this cell without waiting for that shot. There, this time he nails it. Good job by Chicken, and he's going to be able to move on now. Sonic, I know that Fast Stompless definitely is one of the more intimidating tricks in the run. Is that a trick that you've tried to take any interest in or made attempts at?
Yes, I've actually been practicing it quietly off stream. I haven't done it in a race yet or in any of my runs. It's one of those that I feel is a little bit maybe difficult to become confident in running it, because if you miss that cell, you've got to come up with a backup strategy, and that's just not really a place anyone wants to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. Chicken having to do exactly that, and his backup strategy was to reload. As of Feather, he is actually still 14 seconds ahead of his PB. It's possible that his PB had a missed Fast Stompless or a Sad Cellless of its own. So, beautiful Star Bash.
Actually, his PB did have a miss of Fast Stompless.
Aha, that explains it. So he nails the first try Star Bash while we're talking without even batting an eyelash. It's very, very routine for him. And now we're going to be heading up into Star Pass. He opts not to rocket jump off of the below frog. Could have done that, but instead decided to just float up. Does not opt to make a safety save here. Navigating the Doritos. This is a really scary section, but he looks confident. And sure enough, he gets through.
There we are.
All right, Sonic, we're going to be seeing some Terra breaking on the way out by Chicken Supreme. What is a Terra break? What's he going to be doing here?
Well, what he's going to be doing is he's going to place a save over where they just came up the middle of the dungeon there. And by using an ability point that we've stored up, you can break the roof of that area without using a frog or... let's see. I think you're supposed to typically open that with Stomp, right?
Yeah, I guess actually. I had to think
coming down from the top. It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the dungeon from that angle in a minute.
I don't know. You're supposed to do it with a frog, right? Yeah, no, you normally come from the top and use a Stomp, but as you saw there, Chicken used that ability point. He leveled up just below the ceiling using the Save Anywhere glitch. And, Xeirla having a quick hiccup on this puzzle, but figured it out this time, so he's going to be fine. But yeah, used that level up, charge jumped directly into spikes, and as it turns out, the damage effect from that carries past your death for, like, a very brief time. So he breaks the ceiling. Voila. And, he also skipped the cutscene for acquiring the Sunstone. That also happened. Meanwhile, on Xeirla's side, I'm really appreciating the color that he's pulled out here.
Oh no, not blue Ori!
Oh, yeah, it boded ill for him too, apparently, as he got shot in the face by worms, so that's not fun. All right, Chicken heading deep into Misty Woods, which is the next area, and he is going to be trying to navigate this area as quickly as possible. Again, the great description provided by one of our other commentators, Cleanfell, is that this area is not trick-based, it is movement-based. It's all about just optional, optional? optimal movement in terms of using charge dashes and regular dashes and stomp and bash and all these things to navigate the area as quickly as possible. So you're going to see some very pretty movement from Chicken as he goes through here. He is, as of his charge jump segment, he is 14 seconds ahead of his PB, so still on a blistering pace for him.
Oh no! Xeirla taking another death in Ginso. Ginso is a very, very intimidating part of the game. I remember when I first played it through casually, it took me 2 days to make it through there.
Ooh, yeah. Ginso is definitely where a lot of people take a lot of their deaths. Mostly from, of course, the escape at the end, but certainly the sections before, like you see this room lined with spikes. Not exactly friendly. All right, we just got an update on Climb, and Chicken is 29 seconds ahead of his PB, so he is on great pace right now, and has a really good shot at a PB here, which would be absolutely incredible. Getting a good time in a race is one thing, but getting a PB certainly is a very good feel, as we can both attest to, right?
For sure.
Sonic, I'm going to ask you about this movement here in Misty, because this is definitely kind of the area where you... Oh no, Chicken!
Oh no!
Okay, the good safety save there by him makes that death not anywhere near as costly. Still a bit rough, but probably more on the order of 12 to 15 seconds rather than it could have been up to a minute there. But yeah,
it's still possible to make up that time though, too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would imagine Chicken definitely has the time to save here. But yeah, to throw that question in, you know, Misty seems to be one of the areas where runners have the most variance in terms of how they you know, approach the area. What's how much is your level of safety that you think is good here, and what do you like most about seeing different runners do this area?
Everybody, as we mentioned earlier, has kind of their own personality. It starts in the early game, collecting different amounts of health and energy, and it all really comes together here. I don't think I've ever seen any two people do this the same exact way. Watching that movement, yeah. So, like, you can do all sorts of, like, dash glides and like rocket jumps and things like that through there, and it's completely up to the individual as to how they want to approach it.
We got to see Chicken do it in his particular way, and his mini-boss kill was very effective there. There was a mini-boss, by the way. Ooh, a couple deaths for Xeirla on key dupe, but he's gonna be able to pull through soon. Just he has the save in the right place, and he has the keys already. He just needs to get up with the remaining keys. Chicken, meanwhile, has escaped Misty. He's got all but one skill, is heading to Blackroot Burrows, and we're gonna collect the last one, Grenade. Sonic, what can you tell me about Grenade?
It's completely useless. I'm just kidding. The longest time we thought it was useless. However, it has enabled us to do a maneuver called Grenade Jump, which by activating Grenade Dash Grenade and Jump and Wall Charge at the same time, you can blast Ori across the screen. It's a very precise maneuver. I believe it's just one frame that you have to nail it, but it is really impressive when it is pulled off well.
That's right. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing a little bit of that. Chicken might or might not do more than one of those for now. Quick cutscene skip there, and he is going to be not finding out about Naru's old-fashioned father. He's going to make his way to the grenade tree. Xeirla, as we're seeing here, Xeirla does the Ginso escape, so we will be seeing the end of that dungeon from Xeirla, but he first has to do this skip called the core skip, where he's going to try to get a level up here and destroy both of the corruption orbs at the top of the tree here. Having a little rough time with this frog. Oh, good God, Xeirla. Oh, this hurts. But he got the XP and he gets the level up.
We did it!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my heart.
That sure was something, but now we'll be beginning the Ginso escape for Xeirla, as Chicken is escaping Blackroot Burrows himself. And we're going to get to hear the lovely Ginso music, but we're also going to see Chicken take that teleporter that you mentioned way back when, and he is going to be making his way to Mount Horu, the final dungeon, which we will sort of kind of complete.
Kind of.
I think technically you can count it as completing. I mean, we finished the escape.
Yeah, technically. So Supreme's gonna be doing a move in here that's called Door Warp. It's another lovely one-frame trick where the door literally gets confused about where you are and puts you somewhere awesome. In this case, that answer is the end of the game. However, on average, I feel like it takes runners between 2 and 3 tries to get it. So let's hope for a first try.
We'll find out. We are gonna hope for a first try because, of course, no runner wants to deal with the, the whole reload the game, try again, reload the game, try again. But this is a very difficult trick. As you said, it's one frame. So he's got to press up on the frame he reloads the game, and he gets it.
There we go!
Try. Back at Grenade, Oshi was 14 seconds behind his PB. Did I say Oshi? Yeah, Oshi's totally racing. No, Oshi's our stats person. Chicken was 14 seconds behind his PB. It is definitely not late at night. Actually, I'm on the West Coast, so it's 9:38, but whatever. We're going to do the final escape now, and it's fine.
And all of that health from earlier, which I believe Chicken took 5. So he's got to make it through the poison water over here. And if he takes even one hit en route, like it's over, you have to go back to the beginning and try again. So here's to taking no damage until he hits that water. And then I'm only taking 4 before exiting.
That's right, and he does have, I believe, 6 total health, so he could have even taken an extra, but he manages to make it through with only 4 damage, as you said. So very good job by Chicken with the swim. He's going to charge jump up this wall, and now he's going to position for this final grenade jump. Precise lineup and position here. He's going to aim as high as possible, do this grenade jump, gets it first try. And that saves him 35 seconds of the final cutscene. Great job by Chicken, and we'll get his final time in just a little bit.
Oh no. Wait, did he get it? Yes. Oh, I thought he saw soft lock there for a second. That's a scary thing that can happen there.
Yeah, no, that black screen is terrifying because it lasts just long enough that you always doubt yourself. All right, Xeirla on his screen, while Chicken's finishing up, Xeirla is doing a trick called Drainless. He's actually trying to open up this save point in midair while stomping. That looked like that was it. So that's going to cause him, when he reloads, to stomp the platform under the water, and that allows him to skip having to go elsewhere and drain this water here. So very nice skip by him. That's one that's not very common. He stomps.
No! No!
How did that even happen? Oh, goodness. GG to Chicken, finishing up with a 35-43, very close to his PB. So that is a fantastic time, and he's certainly going to be really happy pulling that off in a race. Well, Sonic, now we get to watch the entire second half of the game again. All the stuff that we just had fun watching with Chicken, we're gonna have more of. So this is pretty nice about this kind of race. We get 2 different showings of this back half of the game.
And again, 2 completely different styles of approaching it as well. You get to see some of the variety that can happen in the game, and that's really fun.
Yeah, we saw Xeirla take a pretty solid attempt at the Kuro cutscene skip. Again, that's not an easy trick to do. As you saw on Chicken's side, he just bashed somewhere and it didn't show a cutscene. It's like, okay, well, that looks like nothing. But on Xeirla's side, he tried to set up a very specific position, and he bashed, and unfortunately, there's a bird. So, grop.
That's one of the hardest skips I feel like in the game as far as cutscene skips, because it's such a precise and tiny space that you have to pull it off.
Yeah,
even
agreed.
veterans are like 50-50.
Especially in the tournament, the rates of completing it seem to go significantly down in a tournament. Now, do we see Xeirla going for the 5th energy? We do, yeah. I really like that approach of getting to it, hanging on the wall there, and just getting a good double jump in there with no projectiles nearby, so nice and easy to be able to do that.
Again, keep in mind that Xeirla is doing this with a tablet. It's just incredible.
All the bash angles, that's all going to be on the tablet by basically drawing Ori around the screen with the pen, which is just incredible to think about.
The fact that it can be done in the first place just has me completely fascinated.
Ooh, hitting the Frankie there with the stomps he's not gonna be able to take advantage of that Frankie on the way back up, but that's all right. It's not too big of a deal. He'll be able to just charge flame his way out. Now, Sonic is a runner who's been working on this game recently, and also, you've not yet cracked that the ludicrous plateaus that some of us have grinded our brains out to achieve. But you've ascended from being in that 50 range to down now you've got a 44. So recently from experience what it takes. What do you think is the hardest part of the run to reach that level of performance with, or that level of consistency with? Where does it become really difficult?
I think it becomes most difficult because you spend a lot of time when you're just learning to run, or even if you're just learning a new technique, trying to play it safely. But in order to improve that time, you kind of have to relax and let go and let things happen. Take risks, but not too many risks. It's a job of kind of time and asset management, really. And you have to do it in like a split second's notice. Some decisions are good, some are bad, and you never know what it's going to be until it's over. Yep,
those are really good insights, and certainly true. We got a contribution to that question from our truck as well, and that was Oshi chiming in that not dying is the hardest part, which is not wrong. It's definitely very hard to not die as well. And I also remember from my own progression in this game just trying to survive more than almost anything. But it's so hard. This game throws so many spikes at you, so many birds at you. This bird in particular, sometimes known as the bird boss, it is very scary. Xeirla makes it through all right.
I die to that bird all the time.
Oh yeah.
Great job, Xeirla.
Oh god, Xeirla taking a spider shot directly to the face there. But is able to make it up to the ability cell. And he's going to be making his way towards Feather. Not opting for Fast Stompless. Again, obviously one of the harder tricks of the run. And it really only saves about 15 seconds. So it's one of those things that you can add to your arsenal a little bit later on when you're more confident in, again, overall just not dying. But until that point, there's not really a reason to worry yourself about that specific trick.
All right, Xeirla is saving at the top there so that in a moment he'll be able to go back up there using Frog to complete a rocket jump, which allows you to cover a lot of ground instantly up to that top left corner where he can rekindle that save. And we'll start seeing Sarah bash.
Again, another one of those really hard tricks. And this one's a little bit less negotiable. This trick saves the entirety of the Forlorn Ruins and also allows you to go to Sarah Pass without having gone to Misty. So it's a pretty big time save overall, and it's we call it kind of the signature trick of Ori and the Blind Forest. It's the one that is kind of the most flashy from every single runner. Pretty much expects to do this, and you're going to see Xeirla engage in it pretty shortly. You're going to make use of these birds to line them up in a narrow, spiky corridor up to the top right there, and try to bash off them in a specific pattern so that you can get into Sorrow Pass, even though there's no wind there. Normally, you're expected to have the feather and float up there. We do have the feather, we don't have the wind. So here we go.
And if he can pull this off within 1 or 2 tries, he is currently 20 seconds ahead of his PB. So we could see PB here today.
That would be pretty fantastic. A little bit low on these bird positions, and so he is taking intentional death there. It looks like he decided that his positions weren't going to work out. This is really precise as far as where the birds are located. You can make a lot of things work, but it just requires adaptation, and it can be very difficult, but he does get in. That is beautiful. He's going to try to collect that ability cell. He's giving a little guff. Now, this is still pretty scary. He doesn't have a save yet inside Sorrow Pass, so if you were to take a death... Oh, there you go.
It's definitely worth it to make those safety saves in this area because pretty much everything can kill you almost instantly.
Yep, the spikes,
especially as we
all
get ahead
damage.
here.
Going pretty well, though, so far. He's able to make it all the way up. This could be potentially another gold, and a gold just means, in speedrunning, it means when you get the best time you've ever gotten for a specific, quick death there. But fortunately, the save is real close. Oh, God, floating directly into spikes. Oh, again. Oh.
No!
I'm just gonna... Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna complete the thought about gold segments. That's when you get the fastest time that you've ever gotten for a given section of the game. And Xeirla has done that consecutively for Charge Flame and for Feather. So those have both been really good. Unfortunately, these the Doritos here in the Dorito Cavern or the Sunship Sanctuary, you know, whatever you want to call it, they're proving quite
Sunship
rude.
Sanctuary.
That's the Grimelio special with that name.
I think it's... No, sun chips are more pleasant. Doritos. They're
Sounds
sharp
good,
and
yeah.
hard and unforgiving.
They're super cheesy. This is the cheesiest cheese the game can throw at you. Literally just a cavern filled with spikes, but he makes it through. Alright, charge jump acquired. And apparently, the total amount of time that Xeirla has saved over the last couple of splits, 3 minutes. So that's pretty sick.
It's a lot of time save. I really hope that we can see a pretty strong lead here. And again, a PB would be fantastic from Xeirla today.
I agree. I'm very, very much looking forward to this endgame. It seems like Xeirla's confidence increasing a little bit as the game goes on. Some of those deaths in the Dorito Cave here, a little bit unfortunate, but not super costly. He made the right decision of putting a safety save right before that section and was able to, you know, minimize that time loss. Could have gotten sent all the way down to the bottom, for example, but fortunately that did not happen.
Xeirla currently attempting Terra Break? Up at Sunstone.
Somewhere in that slideshow, we did pull off Terror Break. Looked good. But yeah, we'll be skipping the Sunstone here. And hopefully the frames will be coming back to join us as Xeirla will pick up the Sunstone. That seems to be a pickup. And then learning an ability. And then certainly somewhere in there, we're going to be exiting and reloading the game. Oh, I heard a noise. Did you hear it? That was the sound of picking up the Sunstone. I'm pretty sure I heard it.
We'll find out in just a second. Yes. It's really unfortunate if you actually miss... Oh no, taking another death in the exit through here. Again, Sorrow, definitely one of those... Sorrow and Misty both are places that can just really
Yep. There's no shortage of spikes. There's no shortage of lasers. Xeirla should be able to make it through this pretty soon. Yeah, anticipating the laser timing this time, just taking it a little safer and able to make it through. He's going to be heading to Misty, and as he is, we're going to go ahead and bring in Chicken for a quick chat about his race and about his victory here. All right, Chicken, welcome into the chat, and congrats on your victory, and also, of course, congrats on a very sick time. You know, what are your overall thoughts on your performance in this race, and you know, kind of what was your goal tonight?
Thanks, Religion. I'm pretty happy with that run. My goal was just to try to not panic. It's been a long time since I've done a live race, and I was pretty nervous beforehand. So I was feeling pretty good about it. Even when I missed the Stompless, I missed that in my PB as well. So although it kind of sucked, I wasn't feeling too terrible.
That's good to hear. The mental game, very important, of course. And I do, you know, I want to take it to, obviously, your first match against, you know, one of the lower ranked opponents in your group. Did you view that as like an intentional decision that you made at all to be like, you know what, Xeirla, like, presumably, you know, with this PB differential, you're probably not beating me, but we can both have kind of a relaxed like race where we both get to focus on our own game. Was that something that you thought about, or did you mostly just, I don't know, whoever's available first?
Actually, I scheduled my first match with Elo because figured there was almost no way I was going to beat him. But because he's in Europe, I had to schedule like an early in the afternoon match, and the only day I could do that is like a week from now. Then the other guys in my group, I just sort of left it to them. I figured I'm always available late at night, so I said, "You guys pick the day because I want you to feel comfortable since you're the newer runners." So, and Xeirla picked tonight, so yeah.
Okay, that's actually pretty hilarious that you went the other direction. but I like that. Like, I definitely, you know, respect that thinking about that sort of thing in terms of your scheduling. Xeirla taking an unfortunate death in Misty and getting set back a little bit, but he is still trucking along. Hopefully, he's gonna maintain some of that energy, be able to drop a safety save soon here. So we'll bring it back to you real quick, Chicken, and we'll you know, we'll go back and talk about, I guess, you know, with Fast Stompless in particular, that being the one trick that I feel like nearly every other trick was fine. Like Swamp Entry was pretty good, and that was first try, and basically everything else seemed to go well. Fast Stompless being the only thing. Is that something that has given you problems? Have you kind of felt like, you know, that trick was going to be a problem for you? I know you said that obviously you missed in your PB as well. Is that unusual or is that common for you?
I think I probably get Fast Stompless about 80% of the time, maybe even 90, but it really psychs me out. Like that trick in particular, I don't know, it definitely plays mind games with me. I also don't really have a good visual cue for whether the shot's good or not. So like when I'm doing it, I don't even know if the shot's going to hit. I'm just running and hoping.
What would you say that your success rate is on it right now?
On Stompless? Oh, I don't know. In the last week or so, it's like 50%. I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I deeply feel the lack of consistency on that trick. But sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. Today, you did actually manage to get the shot twice. It was just the cell that caused the problem for you.
That's right. Yeah. I didn't expect to get Sad Cellist. Like when I realized I missed the cell, it was a surprise. It was not a fun surprise.
Yeah, it never is for sure. Xeirla coming into Climb, able to conquer the first half of Misty, and now we're going to see the back half, which is just always a treat to watch. And another 30 seconds saved over his PB. So again,
oh no.
Ooh, ouch.
And we're back to Climb.
That's certainly one of the least costly deaths you can take in this section. So could be a lot worse. And Xeirla now 2 minutes ahead of his PB. So we could be seeing a very strong finish here. we'll definitely hope for good success the rest of the way. Oh god, the spikes.
Xeirla takes a safety save. Definitely a smart decision to make in this area. I'm definitely better safe than sorry.
Chicken will bring you back to Misty as well, because you were on PB pace pretty well for a lot of the early game, and I'm not sure if you were keeping track about that or not. You can also answer that, but I was curious, kind of in Misty, your performance here, and just taking like a couple unfortunate deaths, which it's Misty, those will happen. Did that affect your mindset at all for the last part of the run, or were you just kind of like, it's fine, just finish strong type of deal?
Well, to answer the first question, I was keeping track of my my splits, but the funny thing is I actually just changed the configuration of my live split to do what everyone was recommending, to do the splits the other way, and so I didn't know if it was working. I kept looking over and seeing it green early game, and I was like, I'm not sure if it didn't split somewhere, or it's because I didn't think it was that good. Anyway, later on when I started dying in Misty there, yeah, I was pretty disappointed with that. I don't know. Like I knew I had taken the 3 damage from the spikes, and then I was going up to the mini boss and just ran into the Frankie. Like I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but I got over it pretty quick, and just continued on, really.
Well, it certainly didn't seem to harm your like last couple of segments, so it was really good performance by you overall, and certainly glad that there wasn't too much effect on your gameplay from those issues. But overall, you ended up with a time that was very close beyond your PB. Clearly, you're on the cusp. You should be expecting to get a PB any day now with performance like that. But thank you for joining us. Congrats on your victory here today. We're gonna follow Xeirla to the rest of the run here now, and
thanks, guys.
Thanks for the run.
And now we'll see how Xeirla's able to do. I kind of trailed off there a little bit because I kind of got distracted by watching that door open. I swear to God, I didn't wake up at 9 a.m. It's fine.
Oh. Well, as it is, the races today have started around about 2 p.m. Eastern and went most of the evening and now into the morning. So it's been a long and exciting day, and what a way to end it, really.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of really good runs today, and this one, of course, obviously from the competitive standpoint, weren't really expecting this to be really close between the 2 runners. What we were expecting was to see 2 good runs from 2 extremely skilled game players, and that is what we're seeing here. Chicken, of course, coming very close to his own personal best time, and Xeirla showing us with the pen meta what he's capable of. Coming into Black Root Burrows now, we're going to be going for Grenade another time. A little bit of extra time taken to do that intentional death there just now because of the higher XP count. Sorry, HP count.
No!
Oh, that one was not
Luckily, it doesn't cost. Luckily, it doesn't cost too much. Not this time.
Yeah,
still...
team... Oh, go ahead.
You're fine. Still pretty solidly ahead, I'd say, for now. Grenade is such an interesting addition to your arsenal at this point. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it seemed like kind of a waste, and then people found new things that they could accomplish with it, and we've hated them ever since. Just kidding. Looks like Xeirla's gonna go through the laser room here instead of...
Oh, God! I have a feeling that might happen. That room is terrifying, casually or speedrunning. It's not one you see very often in a speedrun, that's for sure. The timing on those lasers is very awkward. Xeirla, though, sounds like on the last PB, Xeirla's grenade segment was pretty filled with problems, so very good chance, given how cleanly Xeirla got over here, very good chance of some time save here as well. Oh, God! Okay. That's how I feel too. We make it through, opening up the save anywhere. And got it set up. Little bit of a that looked good. Perfect. And let's get a hold of that split info when we can.
Do you think Xeirla will be attempting grenade jump this evening?
I want to say that we have seen some grenade jumps come from Xeirla before, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's one.
Here we are.
He's gonna go for it. Why not? Yeah. Oh. Oh God. That was an adventure. Oh God, the bird's coming for a party. Oh goodness.
Forgot to tell the bird that it wasn't invited. He got angry.
I mean, who can blame him? It looked like a fun time down there with the laser rave going on. But Xeirla
Nothing
dodging
like
the
a party
laser
with
there,
lasers.
very nice. They're like, like strobe lights, right? But they kill you.
That's
All
fine.
right. And a quick
Alright,
save
nice
there for
safety
Xeirla
save
too.
there.
Yeah, that is going to log in that progress.
No.
The boulder is still coming. He jumps over it. There's still spikes. No. Oh my gosh. Xeirla's playing with my emotions here. All right, this time. Oh God, not
Oh,
again.
you missed it again.
No, please don't land into the spikes. Don't land into the spikes. Okay, yeah, go to that side. Okay, whoa.
A safe but smart strategy there.
I am dying here. So Sonic, we got the update from the grenade tree. Xeirla was approximately 6 minutes and 45 seconds ahead of people.
Oh, impressive! I think if we can make it through Horu, which is definitely a feat, we could. Wow, that's a huge PB.
Yeah, this will be close. Not quite, but very close to the sub-hour. This will be...
Made it out.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That feel when you have 6 or 7 HP possibly, and you can actually survive that laser. That is not a luxury almost anyone else gets in this category. So, great decision by Xeirla to take the extra HP. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
And in this case, definitely, I'm sure ended up saving him a ton of time and being sent back to that boulder run.
Yeah, and I mean, that's really the decision for, if you're a new runner. Okay, Xeirla going for door warp. Door warp? I don't know.
First try! Fantastic.
First try.
Great job! Alright, come on.
Xeirla showing off there too that for some reason the charge jump bind on keyboard is the up key, which also goes out of a door, so takes a quick step outside the escape room before heading back in. Alright, let's go. We got our first try door whoop, so let's see how Xeirla is able to do on the final escape and whether or not he's... okay. Well, that one was quick, so no problem, but whether or not he's going to go for and get grenade jump. We saw one before. Alright, some clean navigation of these bash lanterns to get past that laser. And take a nice, safe stomp on the far right. Oh, almost floating into the fire there. Manages to avoid it.
The fantastic news here, though, is that because Xeirla did clean water this time, he can go swimming, not have to worry too much about losing health in that area, which is absolutely fantastic. It's
a great
really nice luxury to have.
So he'll be making the final charge jumps up this wall. And looking, is he gonna just finish? Yeah, that appears to be what he's doing. No need for a grenade jump here. He's just going to finish. Wants the PB, does not want to deal with the soft lock. GG to Xeirla. He's going to be wrapping up here in just a little bit, holding right for about 1:20. Well, that was tremendously fun, don't you think, Sonic?
Yeah, absolutely. That was, oh, I was definitely on the edge there for a bit. So nervous, but that's still a really huge PB. Great improvement for Xeirla.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be able to see both runners in a race like this perform this well and this close to their own PBs, or in Xyla's case, of course, better than his own PB. And we'll see if we're able to snag Xeirla into here after he's wrapped up for just a quick chat. I know there have been a lot of questions about the pen meta, but we'll see what Xeirla has to say about it if he's willing to join in.
I truly hope so. I'd really like to pick his brain. All right, and with Naru here, just needs to hold right for a few seconds. And we're at...
Gonna get that time shortly. (1:03.19). GG to Xeirla. That is his new PB. Only until his next race, when I'm sure he will be able to surpass that again as well.
What a great run.
Yep. I don't know that I can sum it up any better than that. A great performance by Xeirla, managing to avoid a lot of the, a lot of the deaths that could have been very costly, and instead turn those into much less costly ones, making good safety saves right before pretty much every one of those deaths. And that's really the best you can do when you're a newer runner and you have a slower PB. Usually it's just cut out those deaths and also minimize them, like minimize the time loss. So great job by Xeirla doing that, and I'm sure we're going to see even better performance in the future.
It shows a wonderful level of awareness when you know exactly where you need to save, because it's easy to watch somebody else and go, oh, well, they make a safety save here, but everybody kind of has their own struggle, and knowing where that is just shows due diligence.
All right, so you see the updated standings here. I really love the disparity here, where Xeirla is 1-1 with the 1:03, and Chicken atop the group with the 1-0 and 35:43. Of course, there's a wide spread of skill levels in some of these groups, which is part of the beauty of this tournament. Everybody is of completely different skill levels, and that's fine. That's our community. That's everyone's really excited to participate in this tournament, so it's really awesome to see. And we will now be joined by Xeirla. Xeirla, welcome in. Congrats on your second straight race PB. How do you feel about that performance?
It was really bittersweet, to say the least. Like, the early game was so bad, but late game I got all the stuff I wanted to mostly. So, I mean, that was good at least. Practice is paying off on where I'm practicing at least.
Definitely had us on the edge of our seat.
Yeah, there were some moments there in BRB where some close encounters with a boulder.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and ask about the topic that I'm sure everyone really wants to know about, and that is the pen meta. Tell us about the pen meta. How does that work, and how do you make use of it effectively?
All right. Well, it's a lot less impressive, I guess, from my point of view. But basically, the pen obviously is like wherever you point is where the cursor is. So I feel like that really helps me with bashing a lot, because like if I ever mess up an angle or something, I can really quickly just sort of fix that real quick. But what really helps is that there's two buttons on the pen, and one I use Spirit Flame, and then the other is for bash. So that's mainly what I'm doing. So that's why I pace my shots a lot, because there's no scroll wheel, so I can't really use that method. But with bashing, pretty much that's all done with the pen. There is one thing that I could try. I could try doing double bashing more. I noticed when I was practicing is that the buttons aren't really great. So sometimes they'd like send double inputs, and that was giving me a few double bashes sometimes. So I don't know if that would make it easier or harder to try. And then something actually, sorry if I'm rambling, but something I noticed in the run was actually because the cursor will only show up when the pen is close enough to the tablet. When I was making some of the really quick movements in Misty and stuff, it was actually losing focus of where the pen was. So I actually lost a few inputs there, and I think that contributed to like a death or two. So
interesting. So there's a kind of sensitivity and like manipulation of the input method type of deal, where I guess for mouse users it would be effectively free, whereas for you you got to be a little bit more concerted about that movement.
Yeah, like it definitely helps with going faster. I think I wouldn't know because I'm not a great, but being able to set up angles precisely pretty quickly without having to like hold the bash the whole time really helps. And I can also kind of like plan out my movements ahead of time, so I know exactly like where to move my hand, especially like when in Misty. Right after I picked up Climb, I practiced that segment to the last door leaf for a while before the run, so that really helped.
Yeah, that section definitely seemed pretty clean for that practice, so that was clearly apparent. I guess I'll turn it to that concept of the practice and specifically like where you focus your attention, and I'll ask when you're at currently the almost at the sub-hour mark, you're very close, like you're on the cusp, and I guess the question is how do you direct your practice when it kind of probably feels like literally the entire game needs to be practiced? What do you choose to focus on, and how do you prioritize?
Yeah, personally, I've just been focusing on the hardest stuff first. So, like, getting Sorrow Bash consistent, focusing on Mystery Woods execution. I probably should focus more on, like, Black Crew Rose as well, because I've been having a lot of trouble there. The Ginso tree was something I actually ended up practicing a lot, kind of just on the side, because when I was trying to set up my stream initially for recording my runs, I was having a lot of trouble. So I just used that as like a benchmark place because there's so much going on there, and there's so much movement, and also takes a bit of like execution to actually get it right. So all of that has really helped, just focusing on each of those areas, like kind of one at a time. But I think next is what I need to do is actually complete more runs as a whole, so I get more used to like the feel of the entire run rather than just sections.
Yeah, both of those things definitely have their benefits, practicing in sections and practicing the whole game.
Boy, let me tell you about practicing the whole game. Yeah, I strongly agree with that sentiment. Just getting some real like full game runs in where you can't just reset. Boy, it helps you so much. You learn how to deal. Like you'll very quickly find just by doing these races, it will help you so much in terms of figuring out like what's a problem area for you, and just figuring out how to deal with situations that arise. And I think we saw a pretty good amount of that tonight, and you were able to, turn things to your advantage and get a very solid PB. And I would not be surprised in your next race to see another one.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get that sub-hour very soon. I was hoping to get it this run, but need to work on my early game.
I believe.
Absolutely. Best of luck as you continue working towards that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do us for the All right, let's back it up. All right, I think that's gonna do it for us for tonight. Hey, I did it. Thank you all for watching. Sonic, it's been a pleasure commentating with you. Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
I think we've pretty much covered it for this evening. It was two fantastic runs from both Chicken Supreme and from Xeirla tonight. Highly entertaining, highly nerve-wracking, and ultimately seeing a fantastic run from Chicken and a PB from Xeirla. I couldn't ask for more. It looks like for tomorrow, we are going to have 7 hours of Ori. That'll be starting with Stafu and Skull Blocka, or at noon. Do we have what channel that will be on for tomorrow yet?
I believe that is going to be something I'm pulling up literally right now. We will be on Speed Gaming 2 tomorrow, so make sure to tune in. They claim not on schedule in the truck, but as far as I can tell by looking at the Speed Gaming schedule, we're on for Speed Gaming 2. I sure think so. I'm double checking. I see Speed Gaming 2. Yeah. Alright, so it's Speed Gaming 2. Anyway, yes, as Sonic said, starting at noon Eastern Standard Time, please show up to twitch.tv/speedgaming2, this channel, and we will be bringing you a crap load of matches. More matches than you can handle. It's an obscene number of matches. It's actually banned in Australia, so I'm sorry, Cheese, Kappa. Anyway, that's done it for us for tonight. We're going to take off, and we're going to prep for that stuff tomorrow. We hope to see you there. On behalf of Sonic and our crew tonight, F and Oshi in the truck, Richard restreaming, thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
Close as Randomson, so narrowly both runners missing the early grotto cycle. I know that's a trick that several runners have been struggling with, and Randomson takes a death on the slime.
And another one.
Though is looking to drop a safety save. We'll see if Roos opts for that as well, or just goes gung-ho at the swamp entry. Oh, and Randomson takes a bath and is not going to have enough health to hit the spikes, so ooh! Kills his frog and has to go again. Hot on the Tail is coming right up now. He's going to take his attempt at it, and if he passes right on through this cutscene trigger, then he will pass right on through Roos. And there he does! So Randomson taking the lead back immediately.
Both runners getting that fifth.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied. Both going into the reload at the same time to skip another. No! He went for the damage boost backup, but was too slow to get the cell. So Randomson is going to have to either take a slower route in Sorrow or go around again and get the cell. This is where we're going to see what he opts for. He's going to drop an extra save, and then, wow, very nicely done. Quickly getting through the, I'm sorry, on the left, Roos, good thing he dropped a... Here he goes, dropping a save beforehand. He's going to be charge jumping, dashing, stomping, and bam! They are gone immediately, so Randomson definitely...
He's actually on the death in the Valley of the Wind, so... Oh, he's gonna have another one, so... He's sent back to the...
Wow. Specific position that they stand in to get a better angle for that. He shot at a particular angle. He's waiting for this spider to give him another shot too. Oh no! That...
Ooh.
Oh
yeah.
no!
He's able to get it, but...
Literally, Xeirla could really use an energy drop here. That'd be really nice. Oh god!
No!
Chicken coming up to Fast Stompless, a really precise spider shot that he just fired off in that direction towards a bunch of rocks that you don't even get to see. If it works out, the shot's gonna hit the rocks. What do you like most about seeing different runners do this area?
Everybody, as we mentioned earlier, has kind of their own personality. It starts in the early game with
problems, so very good chance, given how cleanly Xeirla got over here, very good chance of some time save here as well. Oh god! Okay. That's how I feel. And a good save there for Xeirla too. Yeah, that is going too long in the progress. The boulder's still coming. He jumps over it. There's no spikes. No!